What's up, guys? Swift here, covering everything Chicago Bears. And while I was down at the Senior Bowl, they filled out their new look coaching staff on offense and hired 3 more coaches in the last 3 days. Today, I wanted to quickly cover the new coaches and what they bring to the table, while simultaneously looking at what our new staff looks like with all of these new changes on offense and one major one on defense. Let's get right into it. First, the Bears hired running backs coach Chad Morton. Then they hired an offensive line coach in Luke Steckel. That was after hiring Thomas Brown to be our new pass game coordinator. And this was already after bringing in Shane Waldron, Eric Washington. The Bears also added Kerry Joseph as QB coach, Chris Beatty at wide receiver coach, and Thomas Brown, another former offensive coordinator, as our passing game coordinator. This was to go with new coordinators on the offensive and defensive side of the ball in Shane Waldron and Eric Washington, both who have previous experience as coordinators at their position. Overall, I was very impressed by the hires, and I admit coaches are much harder to judge than players. You can't scout a coach like you can scout a player, but you can see what kind of influences they've had and what players and systems they've worked with. The general consensus of the guys added to this coaching staff were that they were highly respected throughout the league. I think Shane Waldron was clearly the best offensive coordinator on the market, and with Ben Johnson and Bobby Slowick staying at their respected offensive coordinator positions and not being hired as head coaches, it looks like the Bears may have landed the best play caller of the 2024 NFL offseason. Big moves in Chicago, and now I want to talk a little bit more about our new running backs coach, Chad Morton. He's been coaching in the NFL since 2009 and was the Seahawks offensive running game coordinator and running backs coach the last 2 years, and has been the running back coach since 2017. So basically, the Bears have brought in 3 former offensive or defensive coordinators with play calling experience and a former passing game and running game coordinator as well. This is not the Chicago Bears of old. Things are being done differently now, but the biggest thing I love about the Chad Morton hiring is he specializes and really puts a ton of emphasis on his guys being able to block if they want to get on the field. If you want to get carries as a running back, you better be able to pass block. His work with Kenneth Walker and Zach Charbonnet the last 2 years speaks wonders. To me, that was one of our biggest issues last year, as Khalil Herbert and Deontay Foreman both struggled at times pass blocking, and even Roschon Johnson, who was highly touted for his pass blocking skills, also struggled a bit as a rookie. He did show flashes of being a great pass blocker, but as a rookie, he definitely missed some assignments. But I think Chad Morton should be able to help Roschon get the most out of his pass blocking potential. Roschon is a guy who can be a 3-down running back in the NFL, and if the Chad Morton hire is huge for anybody, I think Roschon is that guy. Overall, though, I love the direction these hires seem to be heading. More competent coaching, especially on the offensive side of the ball. We have guys who have had success developing players on offense at various positions. A huge addition that could pay mass dividends to this franchise. But on top of that, you have to love that Eberflus wasn't scared to challenge himself a bit defensively either. I have to admit, going into this coaching hiring process, I expected Eberflus to take the easy way out when it came to defensive coordinator. I expected him to just promote someone from within and not really bring in someone that could challenge what he does. But Eberflus again stepped out of his comfort zone and impressed me. After bringing in Phil Snow last year, another guy who's been a defensive coordinator, Flus brought in another coach with play calling experience as a defensive coordinator in Eric Washington. I love the hire, and I think Washington should really help with the development of our young defensive tackles, Gervon Dexter and Zach Pickens. It also gives another smart coach on this defense who could challenge Eberflus to continue getting better on that side of the ball. There's no real complaints from me at all from the coaching staff. I'm pretty pumped. I think it comes down to being able to develop our own players, and that's something that the past regime has failed with. And then having guys that have play calling experience, I think it's a lot more likely that they're successful in their second stop than guys who you have no idea what you're going to get as a play caller. Is Shane Waldron the best play caller in the NFL? No, I don't think anyone's saying that. But is he one of the top 10 to 15? I think that's probably unanimously agreed upon. He's a pretty popular name and has had a lot of success as a play caller. And then Eric Washington has got a ton of production out of his defensive line. And adding him to the room with Eberflus is going to make that defense even better. On offense, you have smart minds all over. Thomas Brown has been an offensive coordinator. Shane Waldron is an offensive coordinator. Chris Beatty and Kerry Joseph, very highly respected at their positions and could potentially be offensive coordinators coming up as well. So overall, I have to give Eberflus props for what he did with this coaching staff and how he finished filling it out. Like I said, I have zero complaints. I'm just excited to see these guys get to work. I did drop a really short video this morning. If you missed it, I talked to the best center in the draft, Jackson Powers Johnson, about pancakes and being a Bear.
Yeah, bear down, man.
I appreciate it, man. I also talked to another center I really like. Check that out if you want to hear me briefly chop it up with two of the best centers in the class. I have a ton of content on the way. I apologize I didn't get anything out yesterday. We had an incredibly long 4 days. I definitely didn't get much sleep, but I wanted to give another special shout out to my man Vil from the 3 Point Stands podcast. If you're not subbed to his channel, what are you doing? Check out the link in the description below if you have a problem finding him. It's right there. I am home from the Senior Bowl and ready to start pumping out content. My man Will Wright is still down there covering the game. Turn those notifications on so you don't miss out. Stay tuned, and until next time, bear down. Just wrapped up day 3 of Senior Bowl practice down here on the field in Mobile, Alabama, interviewing players, just wrapping it up, about to head back. But I got a ton of content on the way for you guys, and I just wanted to give you a heads up. Over the next few days, watch out for that content I'm going to be bringing it to you. We'd love to have you in Chicago. Can you say a bear down for us?
Yeah, bear down, man.
I appreciate it, man. You're locked to go in the first round, and nothing but good luck, my man.
Appreciate
I
that.
appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Hey, we love that kind of stuff in Chicago. You want to say a bear down for the fans?
Hey, bear down.
Hey, love it, man. Love it. Appreciate you.
Man, Chicago's real nice. I've been there once. I love it. So.
You've been there once? Hey, man, we'd love to see it, man. Hey, good luck out there, man.
I ain't gonna lie.
You one of the best, man. I wish you luck out here, and I think you're going to make some big plays in the game, man. Appreciate you, yo.
What's up, Javon?
Man, hey, Chicago Bears are looking for an edge rusher like you, man. We'd love to have you in Chicago, man, for real.
Swifty in the house!